بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على خاتم الأنبياء وسيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Welcome to grade 9 from Tamayiz Middle School. Dear students, today we are going to cover 2 pages in student book 28 and 29. We have a listening skill. So let's start with this question. Write 10 words related to philanthropy. So our lesson was about philanthropy. Okay, now we are going to remember 10 words, 10 synonyms for the word philanthropy. Okay, number 1, charity. Number 2, assistance. Then help, donation and support, generosity, giving, caring, offering, bestowal, respect, humanitarian. Okay, these words related or the same meaning of philanthropy. Okay, now this is page 28. Okay, listening skill. Let's start with this skill together. Pre-listening 1 here, as you see. Before you listen, what do you think volunteering is? So volunteering is, so try to find the meaning or definition for volunteering group. Volunteering is offering to do something that you don't have to do, often without having been asked to do it and without expected payment. Okay, so this is the definition of volunteering: is offering to do something that you don't have to do, often without having been asked to do it and without expected payment. Okay, without money. Hope makers. Hope makers. Manal al-Musallam. So look at here. Mrs. Manal al-Musallam, a Kuwaiti female volunteer, was named the Hope Maker of 2018 in a ceremony held in Dubai by UAE, United Arab Emirates, Vice President, Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Okay, this is Mrs. Manal Al-Musallam, a Kuwaiti woman. Okay, volunteer, was named the Hope Maker. So Hope Maker for Manal Al-Musallam. This award is given to Arab youth who have ongoing humanitarian projects that help and inspire people. Okay, this is the award is given to Arab youth, to Arab youth who have ongoing humanitarian projects that help and inspire people. Okay, that help people. Okay, poor people. Now in exercise number 2, as you see here, we have a table. We are going to fill the table with the missing information during the listening skill. Listen to an interview with her describing her experience with voluntary work to answer the questions below. So here questions: award name, award amount, number of participants, number of winners, and presented by whom. Okay, now let's listen together after that to answer and complete the missing information. Focus with me.
Grade 9, Unit 3, Part 1. Hello Mrs. Manal. Congratulations on receiving the Hope Makers Award. Can you tell us what the award is for?
Hope Makers is a prestigious award from His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid to highlight models of Arab youth who have humanitarian projects. The reward is 1 million dirhams, which we received with the trophy at the celebration, and Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum himself handed us the award on the stage.
There were more than 80,000 participants for the award. How does it feel to be among the 5 winners?
I am very thankful for this award, and I believe that this was possible for me because Kuwait is a humanitarian country. His Highness Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmad, our humanitarian leader, has provided us with many opportunities to do voluntary work in Kuwait. If not for that, we would not have been able to start a voluntary team this fast, or this easily. The award has given me a push to do even better than before.
Part 2.
Okay, let's stop here. Let's stop here in part 1. Okay, part by part. Okay, part 1 here. Let's complete the table here with the missing information. Okay, the first one is answered. A word name, hope makers. Okay, hope makers here. Next one here. Okay, as you see, again a word name, hope makers. Award amount here 1 million dirhams. Okay, number of participants here more than 80,000 participants. Okay, number of winners here, as we hear, 5 winners. 5 winners. Presented by Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Okay, that's for part 1. Now let's go on part 2. Decide if these following statements are true or false. So we have 5 statements, 5 sentences. Let's listen firstly, after that to check or write true or false next each statement. Okay, before we listen, let's read them. After that, listen to the audio. Manal, number 1, Manal Al-Musallam started the voluntary routine because Dana asked her to. Number 2, the International Islamic Charity Organization is an official organization. Number 3, Dana voluntary team receives cash donations from people by hand. Number 4, one of the campaign's goals is to provide medical supplies. Number 5, orphans and poor children prepare celebration for volunteers to have fun. Let's listen and decide true or false next each one. So part 2 here. Here, part 2. Here.
The award has given me a push to do even better than before.
Listen.
Part 2.
Here's part 2. Focus.
Can we ask why you started the Dana voluntary team?
Dana voluntary team started in 2016, but I began doing voluntary work in 2013 in Dana's name. It started when I lost my 5-year-old daughter. My husband told me we had Dana's Eid money in the bank and asked what we could do with it. The first thing that came to my mind was to help poor children and families outside Kuwait. We worked by ourselves for 3 days helping 450 families. When asked about the name of the campaign, I said, let us call it the Dana Humanitarian Project. This project was annually repeated. In the winter of 2016, my close friends and cousins offered to help. Soon more people asked to join in, so I decided to license the project and went to the International Islamic Charity Organization, which is founded under Al-Amiri Dewan, and started the Dana voluntary team. We started the team in November 2016 and our charity campaigns have been going on since then.
It is extraordinary how you turned a personal tragedy into a positive message of hope. How does the Dana voluntary team help those in need?
We receive donations from people through the International Islamic Charity Organization. The campaign usually has many goals. Number 1 is to give aid through food supplies. In Ramadan, for example, we give out food and dates. Another goal is to provide medical supplies, especially if there is not enough medication. If there are people who cannot afford treatment, we might pay for their treatment. Our other goal is education. We support education and fund a primary school abroad, and in every campaign we have a celebration for orphans and poor children. We play games and have fun with the children. We have face painting and other fun activities. We try to fill their day with good memories and give them hope for the future.
Part 3.
Okay, We're going to stop here in part 3, next one. Okay, now part 2, let's decide if these following statements are true or false. Okay, let's answer
Grade 9.
the exercise together. Number 1, Manal Al-Musallam started the voluntary team because Dana asked her to. Is it true or false? The answer false. Okay, the correct one here. When she lost her 5-year-old daughter. So she started the volunteer team when she lost her 5-year-old daughter. Number 2, the International Islamic Charity Organization is an official organization. So the answer here is true. Okay, the International Islamic Charity Organization is founded under Al-Amiri Diwan. Okay. Number 3, Dana volunteer team receives cash donations from people by hand. So the answer here is false. The correct one, the International Islamic Charity Organization receives cash donations from people by hand. The international, not Dana who receive. Okay. Number 4, one of the campaign's goals is to provide medical supplies. One of the campaign's goals is to provide medical supplies. The answer here is true. Okay. Number 5, orphans and poor children prepare celebration for the volunteers to have fun. So orphans and poor children prepare celebration for the volunteers to have fun. So it's false. The correct one, volunteers prepare celebration for the orphans and poor children to have fun. Okay. Now part 3, page 29. Okay, this is part 3. Here we have a summary. We are going to complete it with the missing information. So let's listen firstly, after that to complete and cover the summary with the missing information. Let's start from part 3. Part 3 here.
Dates. A narration for
Part 3.
This is part 3. Focus.
How is the Dana Junior team different from the Dana voluntary team?
The idea behind Dana Junior team started in April 2018 after we attended a workshop for children. My 7-year-old daughter Yasmin told the trainer that she used to go with us to help children, but she cannot go anymore because the campaign is only for adults. That's when the idea clicked in my mind, why don't we form a junior voluntary team? I went back to the organization to start and license the team. The volunteers' age ranged from 7 to 14. They joined with either their parents or with their older siblings. I had never imagined that young boys and girls would have so much ability and potential for giving. Our first mission was in June 2018. We organized a Eid celebration for 350 orphans, and the volunteers did all the preparations. We visited a center for children with special needs and gave medical supplies to those living with their family at home. We came up with the idea of 500 smiles. We collected 500 positive messages from the children in Kuwait to the children in need, and we put a message in each gift. That was one of our most wonderful successes, and inshallah we will have more campaigns.
Thank you for all your humanitarian efforts, and we wish you good luck in your future campaigns. Is there anything you would like to say to our listeners?
Many thanks to you for your interest in our work, and for showcasing examples of voluntary and humanitarian work for our youth. I would like to add at the end that everyone, especially our youth, have the ability to give to others, so support others with love and let us build hope and spread peace so we can make a better society together. This is my message to everyone.
Okay.
Grade 9.
So now, let's check our answers together with the reading. We are going to read the summary and to fill the missing information. Let's start. The idea behind Dana Junior team started April 2018. So here in April 2018, after Yasmin told the trainer that she used to help poor children but couldn't anymore because the campaign was only for what? For adults. For adults. Okay? That's why her mother went back to the organization and licensed the team. The volunteers' age ranged from 7 to 14. They joined with either their parents or older siblings. Next one, Manal never what? Never imagined that young boys and girls would have so much ability and potential for giving. They organized a celebration for Eid al-Fitr for orphans and visited a center for children with special needs. They collected 500 positive messages from the children in Kuwait to give to the children in need. Okay, next one. It was one of their most wonderful successes, and she hopes to have more what? Campaigns in the future. It was one of their most wonderful successes, and she hopes to have more campaigns in the future. Okay, that's everything about part 1, 2, and 3. Now the last question here, question number 6, page 29. If you were doing an interview with Manal al-Musallam, what would you ask her? Okay, so we can think to cover and answer this question. Okay, that's depend on you, and for me, I can ask her, how did you get the idea of your team? Question number 2, in my mind, I can ask her, what difficulties did you face? The third question, do you have any plans to develop your team? So that's my questions. For you, you can ask her any other questions that you want. Okay? Thanks for listening and watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.